My first trip to Duke, Puyallup, was in 2007. I came here with Joseph Ecole McKeer, one of the Lost Boys of Sudan who was living in Fargo, North Dakota. He had a dream of helping orphans in the village that he came from. We flew in to this village on a mission plane and had 5 days here where we made a documentary. And the documentary basically told the story of the Lost Boys and of the way Joseph was interested in helping. So we went back home, we made the documentary, we started sharing it with people and thought, well, who is going to help those orphans? And so it seemed that the documentary itself wasn't going to be enough. We had to take action. So we formed African Soul American Heart, a 501c3 nonprofit foundation with the purpose of doing exactly that.
In the past almost 5 years, it certainly took us a while to get up and running and to figure out just how to get this job done, but I think it's been about, the last 18 months or so since Deb really went back and started to just make a commitment to going back about 3 times a year, that we realized that we could move the project forward. I know one of the last things Joseph told us was we got to get something in the ground there, and I think that's what got Deb over there, and I think he was right about that. You know, looking back at where we were 5 years ago and just trying to grope our way forward, you know, at times it felt pretty hopeless, but thinking about where we are right now, I'm just really excited to see the girls, to see there's a picture of the girls coming out of the cornfield in the village, and you know, I saw that and I almost burst into tears, you know, and I'm a big baseball fan, so I was like, wow, you know, this isn't Iowa, you know, this is heaven for these girls coming out of the corn.
Our dream is to help orphan girls in this area, to educate them from a young age all the way through school so that they can return here and help their country develop. You know, this is a country desperately in need of educated people. Women are the least likely to be educated, and orphans are the least likely of women to receive an education. A year ago, we were starting to build these first tukals. This past March, when we were back here, we were able to sleep in them, and the girls moved in. So in the past 6 months, we've managed to build housing, toilets, showers, and an additional concrete block building, storage, a temporary kitchen, and get 12 girls here living, staff here working, and we're educating these girls every day of the week in everything from school subjects to just the most basic of things like recreation, which is something they didn't really have an opportunity to do before.
Conventionally, the responsibility of an architect is, of course, first to listen carefully to the owner or people involved in a project, people who want to implement a project, and use his imagination and his skills, his understanding of construction, technique, design, features, and go from a general conceptual idea more and more into detail to a point to where the owner feels comfortable, yes, this is really what I want to do, and the contractors then have the details to where they can implement and carry out the project. This particular project is unique because it's in, well, first, one of the most remote areas in the world. It's on the Sud. It's a floodplain, basically, of the Upper Nile, where half the time it's a desert and half the time it's flooded. And there's no roads or no construction. There's not even any money or any shops to buy things. And it's incredibly expensive to get things there. So it's been, from an architectural point of view, it's been very difficult because whatever solutions you come up with don't work from your past experience, from your education, and even your imagination begins to find its limits. From here, where do we go? What needs to be done? I'm also very hopeful about that. One of the main reasons I am is we have a very good staff there, and even some builders from Kenya up there that take great pride. And in fact, as I was walking the site, they already envisioned a pathway with flowers and special gateways. And you could tell that just like the girls are taking interest and pride in the site, the builders there want to make it a very good school. It's very hopeful. So we'll be building more permanent, stronger structures. Right now, the tukels, the traditional structures, last only a few years. The termites get into them. But with more money, of course, we can bring concrete to the site, and I'm sure our builders will do a great job in building better dorms. Our kitchen facility, of course, needs to be upgraded. And we'd also like to do, along with that, a large dining room that will be at the kind of the pinnacle of the site, up the hill, overlooking the athletic field, which can serve not only as a dining area, but also for special instructions for classes.
I'm here at the ASAH School for Girls in Duke-Payuel, South Sudan. This is our compound. We moved in here in March with our first 12 girls. We are hoping to add 4 more girls this coming month from a neighboring village, Pachinoy. So our program manager, who's teaching class over here right now, just visited Pachinoy. They talked to the school teachers and elders and then visited guardians caring for orphans. And we've identified 9 girls, and of those we're going to have to select 4 because we don't have enough housing for more than 4 girls. The girls will move into one of the staff tukels that Minyak used to stay in, and we will mix them up with the girls that we have here currently. So our 12 girls, we'll take 4 of those girls and put them in the staff tukel, and we'll mix 2 of each of those girls into our larger dorm tukels. So they'll each have an opportunity to both be with a friend that they know and also to learn to know some other kids. So this is the cooking area. We've got a couple of different types of stoves. This one is built of concrete, and they can build a fire inside there and put the large pots on that. But then often they use this where they've got some broken concrete block pieces. And sometimes we have 2 fires going here. Yesterday, Tabisa was splitting wood outside the kitchen, and they call them matches, and they move the matches in and out to control the heat on the fire. So this is, pretty tough work, and they are moving these big heavy pots, lifting them off the fire. It's a little bit dangerous also, I'd say, with this open fire on the floor. So our goal is to have a permanent kitchen with a little bit better facilities so they can more adequately feed the large group. We're feeding about 20 people a day. That's 12 kids, and then, sometimes more or less staff that happens to be present at the time we're serving meals. So we desperately need a permanent kitchen because as we grow, we're going to at some point be feeding 50 girls a day, and that's going to be quite a tremendous challenge, and we need adequate facilities in order to accomplish that properly.
Am I happy with what we've accomplished thus far? And I am. I'm very happy. And even though there's been these difficulties, things have developed. As things do often in life, things that you didn't expect turn out to be just great assets.
And so that what we are for you, and so.
Of the 12 girls that we have sponsors for each of these girls. These are people in the U.S. who have decided they are interested in helping us achieve our dream here. Our sponsorship is $100 a month. That doesn't pay all the costs here. This is not a cheap program because we have an infrastructure that we're building. And so this is a little bit of an extraordinary program where we're really trying to lift these girls up to a place that they could never have imagined, and a place that's really not available to anyone else in this community because of the level of education that we intend to offer them. So it's $100 a month, and all 12 of these girls have sponsors. We have 4 more girls coming. We have a sponsor for 1 of those girls, but we need 3 more people to offer sponsorship so that we can defray the costs of having the girls in this program.
People should donate and participate financially because they are really transforming the lives of these girls. And we've got 12 in the program right now. We want to get to 50. I think it's really important to get to that kind of mass number because we're certainly making a difference with these 12 girls, I think it's going to take a bigger number to really transform the villages in that area. You know, otherwise we educate an individual and that individual has success, but it doesn't maybe spread as far and as wide in the village as it could if we get to that mass number. So we really need people to help us get to that larger number and sustain that, and then I think we'll really have a spectacular project.
In reflection on our progress and what we've done, I'm very excited about it. I think that we've taken a unique, difficult situation and we found some very good solutions. And in some ways, it's not really the architecture, but more of the situation.
Certainly the expense of doing the project is pretty astronomical, but you know, to take a girl from sleeping on a dirt floor and wearing rags to being in a tukul with other girls and having clothes and having food and having shelter and education, you know, that's really transformative. And so, you know, it just takes a few dollars, the old metaphor of the drop in the bucket, right? It takes a bunch of drops to fill it up, and that's what we've been getting in terms of support, and we just are going to keep working to get that kind of support from more and more people.
Kucing dai la jui ni ye chupa miaran kin bangam kin nyo wen jong du ku ko ye gam aviti ni ye chunam kai karpia gai la pia yun kai ka dia kai mi ale gam pinya wi adun de kai ko yu ku nyelu ku pale kure chago ku ya nang cheng ya bia cha ter ya ko baga mi arwo ke wa to ye chui le ben le wi kwa kai karpia gai la pia yun kai ga dia kai mi ale gam pinya wi adun de kai ko